Hi. So on December 3rd, the Democratic Party in Michigan had a meeting, and we reported on this when it happened. There was a scuffle between the old guard Clintonistas who are running the Democratic Party in Michigan and the young upstarts who are the Bernie Sanders voters, who Bernie Sanders won the state, got 13 million votes. So you think that that would be the people who would be running the Democratic Party in Michigan. Turns out not. So there was a scuffle. Now I have on the line with me. So here's the picture of what we reported before. So now I have on the line with me Sam Pernick. He's the president of the Young Democrats of Michigan. Now, you went into that meeting on December 3rd, and it was a closed door meeting, and you went into the wrong meeting, correct? Is that what happened?
Yeah, here's what happened. So we were there to protest the lack of transparency in the Michigan Democratic Party. They were having an election to choose new members for the DNC to represent Michigan. So we were out in the hallway protesting, and while that was happening, someone from the party said, we don't think we're going to have enough room for you. We may have to call the fire marshal unless you guys go into this other back room. And so obviously we weren't interested in that. And, we continued protesting, and, while we were protesting, we thought, we don't want to get locked out of the room. And so about 15 minutes before the meeting was going to take place, the election was going to take place, we entered in, and there was still something going on. We didn't realize it. There was a labor caucus that was wrapping up. And basically what happened is a senior Democratic Party official.
Mike Stone? Would that be Mike Stone?
That's right. He went up to us, went up to me, grabbed me, pushed me out of the meeting. They really shoved us all out of the room. We didn't realize what was going on. I thought that we were just getting shoved out of the election, the meeting where the election was going to take place. But it's either way. First of all, they shouldn't be. I don't think they should be having all of these closed door backroom meetings. I think that's a problem. Another problem is that they shouldn't be having elections where all the candidates are chosen in advance with almost no public input or opportunity for questions. So, and finally, of course, they shouldn't be using physical force against anyone. That's totally unacceptable. Even the mall cop isn't allowed to put their hands on you, right? I mean, it's ridiculous that they think that they're so powerful within the party that they could just do whatever they want. So that's happened.
Okay, so you went into a meeting. You were afraid you were going to get locked out of the meeting. They said that they couldn't accommodate all the people that you showed up with and to go to another room. You didn't follow that advice. You went in. The Labor Caucus was having a private meeting. They were wrapping up. So you went into that. I agree with you. I don't know why they need to have a private meeting. I don't understand that. Why couldn't anybody come hear your Democratic Labor Caucus meeting? Why would that be private? Anyway, I'm sure they have a reason. So I haven't heard it. So you go in there, someone physically accosts you to send you out. That guy's name is Mike Stone. He's been charged, correct?
Yeah, so he has been charged. I mean, I do think that there are some legitimate reasons to have private meetings. I mean, normally the Labor Caucus will allow folks who are members of a union to go in or people to come in to observe. So the room wasn't marked. It's pretty, and the meeting ran over. Their meeting was running over. So it's pretty. It's kind of surreal.
Now let me ask you something, Sam. Let me ask you now. Now Bernie got 13 million votes in Michigan. He won the state. Why is it that the people who were elected as Democratic Party officials don't represent that? And I mean, you're not just a regular voter. You're actually an organizer. You're the president of the Young Democrats of Michigan. So if you guys have more voters that support progressives and Bernie Sanders that turn out to the polls, I don't understand why you weren't able to take over the party.
Well, it's something that we're working on. I mean, the reason is because the establishment is incredibly entrenched, and they know the rules. And they work the rules to benefit themselves, and the rules are not transparent. And it's all set up to favor insiders. I mean, we didn't even know who was running until about 15 minutes before the meeting was going to take place. That's when we knew who the candidates for DNC were going to be. There was no opportunity for questions. Each candidate was given 1 minute to speak. These are people who are going to be voting to decide the next chair of the DNC.
I know. You know, I went. I went
great.
I went to a similar thing here in Los Angeles for my district, and it was unbelievable how badly it was organized. It was the room was 10 times too small for the people that wanted to be in the room. You couldn't hear people talk. It was 1,000 degrees in there. They had the voting boxes where you would put your ballot was all the way at the front of the room instead of at the room when you walked in. There were so many crazy things that happened. So I understand. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, who gets to put their name at no point is the process ever explained to anybody. So it's definitely an insider network thing happening. People, let me ask you now, I don't know how much you know, Sam. So about these people, but I'm interested. They all seem like staunch union people. So why would they be against Bernie's message? I mean, doesn't Bernie's message line up with unions?
Yeah, I think it does. You know, I'm not really familiar with those individuals on a personal level. I do know that there was a major divide between leadership and membership when it came to the primary. I think the membership overwhelmingly favored Bernie, and the leadership overwhelmingly favored Hillary.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would they support someone who's weaker on unions? What? So, what is that? Just because what? I don't get it. That they had a relationship with the Clintons, or that's what there's the disconnect. Why they supported someone who was past NAFTA and at the same time was supporting the passage of TPP. That seems so. Why would union people support that?
Well, I think a lot of union leaders have been put in a really tough position, and so you have the corporate Democrats have taken over the party, and they there's just so much high dollar corporate money that it's forced people into difficult positions, and so I have a lot of sympathy for union leadership that felt like they had to do certain things because of kind of the way in which things were lining up. You're told, well, if you don't get on board with us, then you're going to be out in the cold later, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so,
that's what the Clintons do. That's definitely what they do. They scare them. So they were just basically betting on a winner instead of betting on who represented their ideals more. So they were just betting that Hillary Clinton was going to win, and so they wanted to be giving their support to the person who would win.
I think it was more. I think that's right. I think it's more of a strategic decision, and the whole thing, the whole situation, really, what happened is really ironic because everybody from our group and the Young Dems and everybody else who was there is very pro-labor, right? So, on the face of it, the whole situation is kind of ridiculous. But the fact is that we do need a system that is open to everyone, and that is not just run by those who can write the biggest checks. And a lot of people think that, well, I write the biggest check, therefore I should get to decide who goes to the DNC. I should get to decide, who becomes a superdelegate. And that whole mentality, I think, has invaded, kind of corrupted, a lot of, how a lot of people think about the party.
So coming up in February, there's another vote, correct?
That's correct.
So tell me about that. What happens?
Yeah, so February 11th is the state convention of the Michigan Democratic Party. So every year, the party has a convention. This year, they'll be electing new leadership of the party. So that board that on December 3rd got to decide who went to the DNC, that board is going to be up. It's called the State Central Committee. That's going to be up for election. The chair of the Michigan Democratic Party is going to be up for it's going to be up for election, and a lot of other positions. And so I'm part of a group called Michigan for Revolution. We're working very hard to organize people to show up at that convention and to vote out the establishment and to get new people in. Because, like you said, Bernie won this state. Why is it that folks who are strong Bernie Sanders supporters, strong progressives. Why is it that we don't have a seat at the table?
And so on February 11th, who gets to vote? Anybody who's a member of the party?
Anyone who's a member of the party 30 days prior to the vote. So the deadline just passed.
Just passed.
It's on January 12th. That's something we're trying to change, actually. Democrats talk a lot about how we want same-day voter registration, but not for our own party members, right?
Yeah.
For our own party, you'll have to register 6 months in advance to vote in a caucus or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
In Michigan, it was moved to 30 days. That still excludes a lot of people. We'd like it to be on the same day. I mean, the party is hypocritical when it comes to a lot of things.
Yeah.
We'll criticize the Republicans for it, but
Right.
We're fine with protesting corporations. But as soon as you protest the Democratic establishment, that's where we have a problem. We want same-day voter registration, just not if it interferes with the power base within our party. So we're working on rule changes for the convention on February 11th. There are 10 that we're working on right now, and we'll see what happens. We like to ban corporate money from the party. We like to ban lobbyist money, ban lobbyists from holding ban lobbyists from holding positions within the party, and really open up the party to be more transparent.
Well, you sound like a purist. You're very divisive. That's what people say to me when I say stuff like that. That's what they tell me when I say, hey, maybe we need to get rid of Cory Booker's and they're like, oh, you're a purist. I like what Kyle Kulinski says. If you think universal health care and free college is too crazy, maybe you're the radical. So that's what I say. All right, listen, Sam, I hope you'll check back in with us after that February 11th vote. So we'll all be looking at what's going to happen in Michigan, and hopefully the Democrats or the progressives will show up for that vote and vote in. Are there progressives running?
Yes, and so we're working to put together a slate of candidates, endorsed candidates, put together a slate of candidates for as many positions as possible. I'll probably be running for a position on the state central committee. We have several other folks who are running for different positions. So yeah, I mean we're working really hard. The group is called Michigan for Revolution. Yeah, it's Michigan for Revolution. I think it's a Weebly site. .weebly.com. We're literally like a 4 or 5 week old organization. So
okay,
we are raising money to try to get people to the convention, because a lot of people live on the west side of the state or they live up north. It's very expensive to get there, and so we are looking for donations and we're working hard. And the fact is that unless this is a big opportunity now to change the party and show them that there are a lot of people out there that really disagree with the direction of the Democratic Party, and we've got to get out there and show them. So.
All right, Sam, we'll check back in with you, and we'll put a link to your website so people can donate if they'd like right underneath this video. Thanks for talking with us, buddy. Hey, we're doing another live Jimmy Dore show January 30th. That's a Monday night, 8 p.m. in Burbank, California. There's a link for tickets right underneath here. Click on the link. We'll see you January 30th for the next live Jimmy Dore show.